Hello everyone, welcome to Late Night Talks 2. In this video, we're gonna be talking about an experience I've had with a friend. Uh, you know, Another story, just like last time. I really hope you enjoy the video, and alright, well, let's go. So, a few months back, uh, I've I've went out to hang out with a friend, right? We went out. I was waiting for him at the park, for him to get ready and go down. And when I got to the park, I saw someone there. Right? He was dressed all black. Um, like he had his hoodie on. He had all that, everything, and he seemed distressed. Not only by how he acted, but also how he sounded. His breathing was heavy. And so I wanted to go over there and see what's up with him, even though he is a stranger. Not before he decided to sit down somewhere. Now, this park is a park I used to sit where I would cry about something that happened with my ex, which is a story for another video. Well, what happened was he sat in the exact spot that I used to sit on and cry about what happened with her. And so it was kind of a sign for me to go and talk to him. At least that's how I saw it. I walk over there and I greet him like, "Hey man, are you okay?" He lifts up his hoodie and I see it's a friend that I haven't seen in years. Well, it's a friend. I'll give you some backstory about him. This guy, I met him in a friend's bar mitzvah back when I was in 7th grade. The friend that I talked about in my last video, I met him in his bar mitzvah. So that's where I met him, and our relationship as friends is kind of being on and off because he was kind of distant and he was in a different school and we barely talked. We talked like from here and there, sometimes even met up. One time he accidentally came to the beach that me and my friends were at, and apparently they all knew him somehow. So I just figured he's just a mutual friend of everyone. Well, back to the present. I see him in the park. He was bawling his eyes out. At that exact second, I decided that it was serious and I should talk to him. And I asked him, "Hey, man, I haven't seen you in such a while. What happened? Are you okay?" He just said, "I don't want to talk about it." And so I decided, fine, but I'm staying here until he feels better. And so I call up the other friend that I was supposed to hang out with and tell him that he needs to wait a little bit, or maybe there's a chance we won't even hang out today because something came up. I sit down next to him in the grass in the park, and I tell him, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to tell me anything about what's going on, but I'm not leaving here until you're okay." That's what I said to him. Because I do believe that friends should always stick with each other. And I don't believe that anyone should go through anything alone. And so we sit there at the park, and for around 20 minutes, he decides to actually not say anything, and I respect that. We sit there for 20 minutes, complete silence, not even headphones. Just his silent sobbing right next to me. After 20 minutes of just sitting there, looking at stars, counting sheep or whatever, he decides to start telling me the story. And I listen. Of course, I will not tell here what he told me because obviously it's private and I want to keep what he said to me private to himself. All I always say is that relationship problems, you know, normal. Which is sad to say that relationship problems are something that's normal because it drove him insane from how I saw it, from how what I saw. He was so distressed and he was shaking while he told me everything, and I really did feel bad for him. Of course, I did not give him answers right away. That's a tip for you: is when someone opens up to you guys, Never give them straight up answers to they need to do right now. Comfort them, be with them, tell them you're not going anywhere, and that's exactly what I did. But when I'm looking at it back, I'm kind of thinking maybe I told him all of this because that's what I would have wanted to be told. I told him that, nothing comes easy and relationships are really hard, and I understand. And I'm right there with him. I never rushed him to anything, and he was thankful for that. We sat there for another 30 minutes after he finished telling me his story. We just sat there, just with each other's presence, just there at the moment, not doing anything. We weren't on our phones, we weren't listening to music, we were just there, sitting in the grass in the dark. At some point, he told me he needed to go because he was visiting his girlfriend's house and confronting her about everything. Obviously, it cheered him on, and I told him to not overdo it so that his feelings won't get even more hurt. And obviously, he understood that. But still, he decided to sit with me yet for another couple of minutes because he still needed to cool off, and I understood that I was there with him. He was still shaking after he told me everything, and I really did feel bad for him because I know how it feels. I know how it feels to panic about something. I have a lot of panic attacks, so I could even understand if he had one. But I cheered him on anyways because that's what you guys should do. You should cheer your friends on, never let them down, never laugh at their face for anything. Never. That's just cruel in my opinion. I should always be there for them, stick with them, and just be a good friend. Be what other people want, what you would want a friend to be for you. That's how I believe a friendship should be. Treat each other the same, and just be good to each other. Because life isn't fair, so we should make even the little bit of fairness that we can. After a while, we kept sitting there, and I kept, even telling him some of my own stories because I could actually relate to what he said and what happened to him, because I really do have a lot of stories, which is why you should stick to this series. We just sat there with each other's presence, and at some point we just started to laugh at each other. We kind of forget all this pain was there, which for me is such a good feeling. Having a friend cry with you about their problems and then making them laugh. Not about them, not at all, but just about anything else that does not relate to their situation at the moment. For me, it's just such a nice sound hearing someone laugh after they cry. And so I felt so much joy for him that he kind of woke up from that nightmare that he was telling me about. And yes, I did help him, in my opinion, even if he didn't say it, even if none of us wanted to admit it. But after that, he needed to go solve his own problems. When he stood up, he gave me a hug. The hug told me anything I needed to know on how much I helped, how much I was there when he needed me, and that told me everything. And we don't really talk much anymore because, as I said, our relationship is kind of on and off, but I really did hope that I've helped him exactly like he needed, because that's what I aim for in being a friend, helping my friends and being there for them whenever they need me, because anyone deserves that, in my opinion. Well, that's the end of our story for today. Thank you all guys for listening, and please stay tuned for other stories that I will add to this series. Thank you and good night.